And good morning, Man Hour Nation. It is Wednesday, hump day, January 31st. Man, has this month flew by us. Good lady, can we slow it down, baby? But we're going to talk a little bit more about the Baltimore Ravens. Their season is officially over. Can we, what they need to do to improve? Cowboys are all in for 2024. What does that exactly mean? And Justin Tucker, is he just being a diva? Is he? But first. And now, Mike's Thoughts. Man Hour Nation, there comes a time in the world where you just have to sit back and you have to realize, man, I messed up. I messed up, and I am very apologetic for this situation. So, guys, yesterday, if you guys watching the Man Hour, I was very upset. My computer was messing up. Everything was just not going right, and I did not put a full effort into the show whatsoever. And for you guys, I definitely apologize for that. But most importantly, I apologize to my right-hand man, Mr. John Hoffman. John Hoffman sat there and watched me struggle, and I could see it in his face, and he was definitely, he wanted to say something, but he couldn't. But I definitely understand. So, with that being said, guys, I want to apologize about yesterday from the bottom of my heart. There was stuff going on in the real world that I brought into the show, and then it compounded a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And ultimately, what did I do? After the show, my dog Birdie came in wagging her little tail, her little stubby tail, a little bit of puppy. I petted her, and me and her had a conversation. Yes, I talked to my dog. Me and her had a conversation. So with that being said, I want to say goodbye to a very, very good man, Coach Wilson, my high school coach. He is gone. He passed away on Sunday. Got the news yesterday, but bada bing, bada boom. It is what it is, and it carried on to everything to today. I got everything sorted out now. Everything should be good to go. So if you guys are having any issues, let us know in the chat. Wayne G already said, hey, it's not Skippy today, but I am damn Skippy today. I'm in a great mood, guys. Let's put on the best damn NFL show on the planet and cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Choo-choo. Every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse here with the Man Hour. Short over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Check out the blog section. And we are working vigorously on the new website, NFLtoday.co. We are roughly about 1 to maybe 2 weeks away at the new launch of that site, but there's going to be stats, there's going to be scores, there's going to be player profile pages, blogs, and of course the forums over there as like as well. So we do got a lot of things happening here on the backside of the Man Hour. We got to welcome Wayne G in the chat. What's up, Wayne? He says, hey, not skipping today. No, we're not. I think I fixed it. I gave it the old mom or the dad look. I'm angry at you, computer, but we got to fix it. Jim says, I have no idea what you done because I couldn't hear a damn thing. Yeah, yesterday, but rest in peace, Coach. Yes, my rest in peace to Coach Wilson, 100%. But we got to welcome the right-hand man, the peanut butter to my ladies, the man that says the middle's open even though it's not, Mr. John freaking Hoffman. What's up, Hoffman?
What's up, Michael Buckheister? What's up, Man Hour Nation? Are you as excited as I am for the skills competition Thursday?
Yeah, I am. Is it Thursday? Yeah. I'm pretty excited. If I had the opportunity to watch Kansas State basketball, or the skills competition. I'm probably going to take the skills competition right now because Kansas State basketball is not playing very good, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to some one-hand catches onto like a mat. I'm looking forward to some linemen running through some walls. Oh, is dodgeball happening too on Thursday?
I believe so.
Give me some dodgeball, baby.
Kelsey. Everyone talks about he being the better athlete than, of the Kelsey brothers. I want to see him play some dodgeball. Just start pegging people off the dome piece.
Do you think he's is he playing in the Pro Bowl?
Oh yeah, I saw him in his his shorts and his flip flops. And so, yeah.
Now there are a lot of people that show up and enjoy the atmosphere, but don't necessarily play. But this tells me one thing only, that Jason Kelsey is officially retired. This man is enjoying life 100%. So,
Big Yeti.
What?
The Big Yeti.
The Big Yeti.
You did the shirt. He's been. That's the new nickname for him. Big Yeti
head.
screaming out the press box, jumping out of the. God, him in Buffalo was. I wish I could have been there.
I wish I could have been on that level and still been like coherent.
40 plus beers and he's still If there's one guy I think in the NFL that I'd love to just party with for a day, I think it'd be him.
Yeah.
I don't think I could keep up with him, but I'd give it a shot.
Wayne G says, I did hear Mr. Red Sox Edelman background complain he didn't get a San Francisco hoodie yesterday. Listen, you always want to root for a team that's on top, and right now the 49ers are on top, and the Patriots are not on top, Hoffy. Not on top. But another team person that is not on top, that's Justin Tucker. If you guys have been living under a rock, Justin Tucker and Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes kind of had an interaction pregame, and I was going to let it slide on the rug, not really talk about it, because I think my sister texted me like the live video of it, like, hey, did you just see this? I'm like, actually, I didn't, because I was getting ready. I was cooking my queso and food and like whatnot, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it is starting to gain some steam, Huffy. It is starting to gain, like, say, who is to blame, like, at this particular point. And when we saw the video, Huffy, Justin Tucker is stretching on the Kansas City's side of the field. So people that do not understand how football warm-ups work is basically just like in basketball. You get one side of the field. Kansas City Chiefs get this side, the Baltimore Ravens get this side, and you pretty much don't cross the 50 unless you know said person, hey, what's up, man? I have them up, chit-chat. But kickers and special team players, they usually go out way before the rest of the team so they can kick on either side of the field just to get feeling about the field, right? So Justin Tucker has been doing this for 11 years in the end, like in the NFL, obviously. But for some reason, it was a big deal when the Kansas City Chiefs came into town. The big deal was that he was stretching on their side of the field. Mahomes didn't want to roll his ankle on the helmet, whatever. Travis Kelce ends up taking the helmet and politely placing it on the back of the end zone. So, Hoffy, when we look at this tape, when we look at what everybody's saying, is it a fact or is it a crap that Justin Tucker was just being a diva on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, what we didn't see, and I think Justin Tucker, even spoke about it in his little press conference afterwards, was, Patrick Mahomes asked him to move, and so he obliged and moved, but like
2 feet,
yeah, he moved a foot or so, but I mean, I follow the Pat McAfee show, and he said, hey, as a punter out of Vinatieri, it's always a matter of, hey, where do you want me so I'm not in your way? I mean, what kicker is kicking field goals from the 1 yard line? I understand that a lot of times they do they kind of start from the 5. They do just, they stand there and kind of kick and move back. But I mean, it's a 100-yard football field of all places, to be, I'm sure there was plenty of other areas where you could have gone and not been in the way. Especially, he's stretching. So even him stretching, he's not in the way per se of Patrick Mahomes and what they're doing. But why does the helmet need to be, 10 yards, to the right and right by Patrick Mahomes' feet. Why not, put it on his left side instead of the right side? So, yeah, I think he was just trying to get under their skin. I love looking at the comments during the game when people were saying, oh, he's going to kick the game-winning field goal now. Justin Tucker's going to get the last laugh. And, let's just say those comments aged really, really well.
Yeah, stupid clowns. But, I understand that kickers want to come out and do their thing. They got their routine. But the routine is not stretching on the opponent's side of the field. That is my biggest issue about it. Why are you stretching on my side of the field? Now, you are lucky that I didn't come up and just clock you square in the freaking face. Let's just be honest about it. Like if I was Travis Kelce and after you disrespected my quarterback the way you did, there may have been a little cold cock right across the jaw. Take that, stupid ass kicker. And then I love the people like, well, why didn't anybody come to Justin Tucker's defense? Where were the rest of the Ravens at? They were on their side of the field stretching where they belong. Justin Tucker, 100% Hoffy, was just being a diva. No question about it. He was trying to get underneath the skin. He was doing this. He was doing that, whatever, right? And for all you Ravens fans out there saying, oh, he's been doing this for 11 years. Okay, cool. So you have been trying to push buttons of other NFL players for 11 years. Awesome. And this is the first time film actually caught it. I highly doubt that. 100%. So when of course, me on YouTube, Hoffy, at night when I'm laying in bed, sometimes I get on the old YouTube short feed thing and I'm scrolling. And there's a kicker. I can't remember who it was for. Was it Robbie Gould for the 49ers? Would used to kick off, would used to kick, and the Dallas Cowboys Steelers would come I'm out, and he would still be kicking, saying "F you guys." He would do it in the middle of like a halftime performances, etc. Guys, if you have never met a kicker, the kicker are the most head case people ever. If you want to see a true kicker, watch Blue Mountain State, the TV series, right? That their kicker is consistently doing heroin and cocaine and banging hookers. That is a real life kicker. Kickers are messed up in the head, Hoffy. No question about it. Kickers are a very, very weird breed. And if they get off their routine just a little bit, they're like, oh, I can't kick. Hoffy, we had a kicker in college. All this kid did all practice long was kick field goals. He would start like at the 5, go to the 50, different hashes, yada, yada, yada. He would spend 2 hours just kicking the damn ball, kicking the ball, and doing good, right? Like, damn, this guy's pretty good. But at the end of every practice, we would run some sprints, run some scenario drills, and field goal. Kicker comes run and on. He's obviously tired from, doing the suicides and stuff like that. He's huffing and puffing, and he would consistently miss the kick over and over and over because he was, quote, out of his routine. Come on, man. Pull your head out of your ass and make the damn kick. I'm tired of freaking running. That kicker got his ass whooped a lot. You missed a kick, get your ass whooped. That's the way it is.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes even said that in his entire career. There's been 3 times where he's had to ask a kicker to just, he's in the way and politely asks him to move. All 3 times it was Justin Tucker.
Really? Shows you he's a diva. We're actually going to be talking about Justin Tucker possibly getting cut by the Ravens here coming up. But Jim says Kelce is a punk. Don't touch my drum set. Yeah, there are a few things that you don't do on the NFL field. That is one, poking the eyes. Come on, man. Don't be poking me in the eyes. I don't care if you reach down my pants and want to grab my junk or put a finger in my booty hole. Whatever. It happens on in the bottom of the pile. Shit happens when you party naked. But don't poke me in the eye and don't touch my helmet. Like, seriously. Did you just touch my helmet?
Bill Romanowski's?
Yeah, or don't spit on me either. Like, what is wrong with that? Like, have you ever been at the bottom of a pile, Hoffy? Yep. Some weird shit happens.
Yep, absolutely.
Some weird shit happens. We were playing Texas Tech. I was on the bottom of like a pile. I have my compression shorts on. I have my girdle on that has like the pads in it, and then your pants, right? So there's 3 layers. I felt thick ass gloves reach 3 layers of my pants, go down, squeeze my butt, and the guy's like, "Ooh, I like that." I was like, "What is wrong with you, man?" Like, talk about getting underneath your skin. You're like, "Get the hell off me, man."
No pun intended.
Wayne G says, "So soft." On golf, we hit drives into the group in front of us. Tucker should have kicked a field goal into them while they were warming up. He does all the time, Wayne. The problem was he was just stretching. Go stretch on the sideline. Jack Lambert would have planted Kelsey's ass. Who the hell is Jack Lambert? You know who Jack Lambert is, Hoffy?
No, but I think the one kicker that I also wouldn't mess with is the old man Rivers that kicked for fucking 55 years for the Raiders.
Sebastian Janikowski.
Yeah, big ass belly and beer drinking belly.
That man is smoking a Marlboro Red on the sideline, drinking a Budweiser Heavy. Not none that light shit. Give me the Bud Heavy, diesel fuel.
Yep.
Oh, you
Him
want me to
and
go
John
kick, Coach?
Daly are probably on the golf
go.
course now.
Oldie. John Peoples in the chat. What's up, John? Good morning. Good morning to you as well, John. So, Hoffy, are we on the same page that old Justin Tucker's just being a diva?
Oh, absolutely. He's a bitch. All kickers are divas.
Yeah. The only kicker that I don't know is a diva. Yeah, that ends that list. So we've been talking a lot about the Baltimore Ravens, guys, and their recent failures to the Kansas City Chiefs, and basically Lamar Jackson just kind of shit in the bed in the playoffs. But there comes a time where you have to move on from the season. Now, there's been a lot of coaching interviews. There's been a lot of this. There's been a lot of that, Hoffy. But we have to look at the Baltimore Ravens as a whole. This offseason, they are going to lose not lose, but they have a lot of free agents on the list. Some big names here. They got Nelson Aguilar, free agent, Odell Beckham Jr., Jadeveon Clowney, Randall Darby, which is their cornerback, Gus Edwards, Tyler Huntley, and Josh Johnson, both backup quarterbacks, Patrick Queen, Kyle Van Nall, and of course, Rock Ya-Sin. All potential free agents going into the 2024 NFL season for the Baltimore Ravens. So, Hoffy, when we look at the Baltimore Ravens, they were close to get there. They were right there, right? But with that being said, how can the Baltimore Ravens improve in 2024?
I mean, I think WB Ant said it best yesterday. This was kind of their year. I mean,
yeah,
this was by far the best defense you could really put on paper, or not even on paper, but put on a football field, and still be under the salary cap. I think they're going to have about 20 or 28 million in salary cap this year. But like you said, they got a lot of free agents. I think the pressing thing to do that's going to, kind of help them is get another weapon to go, a 1-2 punch to go with, say, Flowers. But I think really what it comes down to is just sticking to your game plan. They led the league this year in rushing attempts, rushing yards, and we saw six rushing attempts in the game against the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson is not Tom Brady. He is not Patrick Mahomes. He should not be dropping back 38 times in a football game to throw the ball. I think you need to have a balanced attack, and that is that's kind of the key to success for the Ravens is a balanced, rush pass attack, which they got away from. But I mean, you have Hamilton. He's going to be coming up off of his rookie deal here. I mean, you're going to need to leave some money on the table for him. Jadeveon Clowney's getting up there in age. I mean, he's no spring chicken anymore. it's going to be tough to duplicate, this defense and year, it's going to be another year. Every player is going to be a year older. I mean, that's going to help players like Hamilton. But again, even if you bring back Jadeveon Clowney, what are you going to get out of him? There's not a lot of meat left on the bone there. I mean, a defensive lineman, they get beat up pretty. I mean, look at Aaron Donald. Even Aaron Donald was, getting tired at his age and possibly thinking about, stepping out of the league just because of, the wear and tear that, it takes on an offensive and defensive lineman's body. So, right. I think if you want to put one thing on paper that needs to help them improve, it's getting another weapon for Lamar Jackson and someone to take the pressure off Zay Flowers. Cause, let's be honest, he was a rookie this year. Right. He didn't get, he wasn't part of the defensive scheme's game plan per se, but he's absolutely going to be the one guy that you need to take away. I mean, he was the one and only guy that scored the touchdown in that playoff game. So he's going to be, getting that, that Tyreek Hill, kind of coverage and privilege now moving forward. Cause he's a dog. So he's absolutely going to get double coverage. So you're going to have to find another weapon for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, so when we look at the Baltimore Ravens moving forward, guys, in 2024, depending on what site you look at, they have anywhere from $5.6 million in like cap space to $11.7 million in cap space. Not very good, right? They basically, that's about one player's worth of signing, and we've listed 10 potential free agents that are going to hit the market. Odell Beckham Jr. is probably going to be looking about $14 million. Patrick Queen's probably going to be looking about $18, $19 million a season, right? Clowney, they are projecting him about $5 million a season. Nelson Aguilar looking about $4 to $5 million a season, as well. And then Ronald Darby's looking anywhere about $7 to $8 million per season. So obviously, right there off the bat, even if you wanted to sign somebody like Patrick Queen or Odell Beckham Jr., that's going to put you over the cap. So there is going to be a lot of good GM work, or has to be some good GM work for the Baltimore Ravens to improve or even keep the roster currently intact 100%. But I think my man Wayne G said it best here, is they have to nail the draft. And you are exactly right. They do have to nail the draft. But the one thing I think how the Baltimore Ravens can improve in 2024 is if they want to use this 2 tight end system with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely and Zay Flowers being your number one, they need to definitely incorporate that into the playbook now. They need to understand that they're going to run a 2 tight end system with a single receiver, and they need to build around that. Build around what you have. So what they need to do is unfortunately, Patrick Queen is probably going to walk in free agency. There is no way the Baltimore Ravens are going to be able to afford Patrick.
He's going to get paid by somebody.
Yeah, I mean, $18 million a year for Patrick Queen is probably a little undervalued, to be honest. You're probably looking at one of the highest paid edge rushers out there. So that's the first thing that the Baltimore Ravens need to do, is definitely draft an edge rusher and their 30th overall pick. I think they're 30th or 29th. I can't remember sure. I think their 30th overall pick. So definitely draft the edge rusher at that particular spot. Secondly, look at some free agent wide receivers. Obviously, you're not going to be able to afford Odell Beckham Jr. at his $11 to $14 million price tag. Plus, he's older, he's aged, and we didn't see much from him in the playoff game. Let's just be honest. We didn't even hear his name to the fourth quarter, Hoffy. So do you really want to bring somebody like that back in there? Like, hey, $14 million, you kind of shit the bed too, man. And then Nelson Aguilar, Mr. Drops himself. Probably not going to bring him back. So I would like to look within my division. The Cincinnati Bengals have 2 tight ends or 2 receivers that are up for free agency right now. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. Potentially reach out to those guys and say, hey, come to us. We're a championship team. We're right there. You might send us over the edge. So the Baltimore Ravens need to understand How they can improve this season is go to the two back or to the two tight end system. You saw that they wanted to do it in the playoffs. It wasn't executed very, very well. They could execute that in 2024. I don't think they can be stopped. Look at your boys from early 2000s, Hoffy, right? Hernandez and Gronk. Most unstoppable offense probably ever. You stop Gronk, Hernandez is there. You try to stop both of them, you had Wes Welker or whoever running over like the middle. You have Mark Andrews, very, very good tight end. Isaiah Likely came out of nowhere. Man, did you know Isaiah Likely's making like $900,000 a season, Hoffy?
Mm-hmm.
This man's putting up Pro Bowl numbers, making $900,000 a year. Using them to do some right now. Make Zay Flowers your number one guy.
You know who I think would be a good fit
For Baltimore?
Yep. I think he's been on their roster before. He's a free agent. They traded him on draft night, I think it was the year before last. Marquise Brown from the Arizona Cardinals.
Isn't that Lamar Jackson's cousin or something?
Yeah, something like that. But bring him back, and you got him and Zay Flowers. You can run the jet sweeps. There's not many 5'9" guys that are outside wide receivers per se. But I think that having Zay Flowers, you can potentially bring Marquise Brown down into the slot. I think that would be a solid 1-2, and I think that you could possibly get him on a flyer, a 1-2 year deal kind of thing, prove it deal, and get what you can out of him, and let him get his big
he's a free agent right now, right? He got cut from the Cardinals, right?
He is a free agent.
Yeah, so possibly. I mean, it is what it is, but let's see what they got over here in the chat there. Wayne G says they could bring in Saquon Barkley and they have a good draft. They can have a good 2024 season. If you want Saquon Barkley to tear an ACL, send him over to Baltimore. That is what the running backs do in Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins has like 3 tearing ACLs. Keaton Mitchell tore his ACL, right? Gus Edwards tore his ACL. It is tough. We got Drew in the chat, and Drew's saying Buck can't hear Hoffy on Instagram. I have to look at that.
Son of a bitch.
Well, you heard that. YouTube and Facebook are just fine, so come on over there.
Sorry.
Jim also says Josh Jacobs is available. He is available, but are the Ravens willing to pay him $10-12 million a season? Like, what is the franchise tag for a running back right now? Like $20 million, I think it is. No, that's receiver $20 million. So you're probably looking at $12-13 million for a running back. Josh Jacobs probably going to want $20 million a season. You can't afford that. They have $1 million in cap hit or cap space. Lamar Jackson's taking up 40% of their cap.
Yeah, they're not looking to sign a running back. They have a whole running back room of running backs.
Yeah, we also forgot that they just signed Dalvin Cook earlier this season as well, right before the playoffs started, if I'm not mistaken. So go ahead.
Is he not a free agent, or was it a multi-year?
I don't know. I would assume he's a free agent, but usually when you pick somebody up and put them on your practice squad and they get activated, they're usually a free agent, usually what it comes down to. But they probably could franchise tag him if they wanted to. Of course, they got the rights to him and before anybody else does. But when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, just off the top of my head, I can probably name 5 running backs in their back, like in the room right now. Justice Hill, you got Gus Edwards, right? You got Keaton Mitchell coming off his ACL, Dalvin Cook, J.K. Dobbins, and then they drafted a guy, Wright. Was it Wright? Owen Wright, I think his name is. So there's 6 right there. So I'm not for sure you trade for a Saquon or signed a Dalvin or signed a Josh Jacobs or anything like that. I don't see it happening, unfortunately. And then they want to say maturity classes for Zay Flowers. He cost the Ravens the game. Hoffy, did Zay Flowers cost the Ravens the game with that personal foul taunting on L'Jarius Sneed?
Yeah. Did Zay Flowers go 5 for 12 in that first half?
I don't think so. He did have like a 70-yard catch though.
Well, I mean, I think I'd put the blame on whoever that guy is that went 5 for 12 in the first half. I mean, yes, I understand that Zay Flowers fumbled the ball at like the 1-inch line, but that was just a great I mean, he's trying to make a great offensive play and dive in, for a touchdown. I mean, what offensive player isn't going to be doing that? And I mean, it comes down to that defensive player just making an unbelievable play. Yes, I understand that he went over and bashed his hand off the bench and broke his fingers or whatever, cut his hand up, but I don't think that's what cost them the game by any means.
Yeah,
I think it was, again, Lamar Jackson and then the offensive play calling. You can't run the ball 6 times and expect, and have Lamar drop back 38 times and expect to win when you've led the league in rushing attempts.
So, John, I do understand what you're trying to say. I understand that you're trying to say that the taunting call cost the Baltimore Ravens that particular game. I could see that. But at the same time, I'm not faulting a player for being excited for making one hell of a play. That man made a hell of a catch, ran the ball down the field. What, they got down like the 10, 15 yard line. What did he do? He spun the ball and said, "Yeah, you like that." Flexed on him, right? I freaking love that, Hoffy. Bring that back into the NFL. I want people to taunt. I want to see the Tyreek Hill peace sign going down the field. I want to see Josh Allen pointing at the defender after he duked him going into the end zone. I want to see CeeDee Lamb's little noodle arms flex, right?
Absolutely.
But honestly, when 5-foot guys that are noodle arms that are 165, 5 pounds flex, like, don't do that, man. At least have 18-inch arms be up for you flex. But
yeah, I think the refereeing in sports itself, not even just football, is getting soft. I coach my son's 5th, 6th grade travel basketball team, and after he's, my uncle just passed away January 5th, 49 years old. My boys absolutely adored him. When they were like 3 years old, we were at his house visiting. One of my sons spit up on himself. I forgot, bad parent, forgot to bring an extra change of clothes. Lesson learned there, first time parent. So my uncle had given him one of his shirts. So my son is wearing the shirt. It goes down to his ankles. We walk to the park. So it is ever since then been an ongoing joke. First person that sees the other when they see each other, whether family functions, etc. Hey, that's my shirt. So it's been an ongoing thing or whatnot. So they were pretty upset when, they found out their uncle passed. So now when my son scores a basket, which he scores about probably most of our team's points, he averages like 30 points a game. He does he points up to the sky. He was warned about that the other night in the game. You can't do that. And he's like, why not? And the ref said it's unsportsmanlike. So next time he goes down and scores a basket and gets a layup and just does a double chest pump, he got teed up. He's not standing over a dude. He's not in the kid's face. He's running down, going down the court, giving himself a double chest pump. I mean, let the players play. Let them, celebrate how they want. It's not like he stood. I mean, he flexed on him, yes, but he didn't stand over the guy, straddle him or anything like that. I mean, yeah, I mean, I would too.
Yeah,
but I think refs are a little soft. They try and make the game about them. They want to be the center of attention.
I wouldn't say the refs are soft by any stretch of the imagination. That is just the rules, honestly. Like in the NFL, saying you can't stand this to everybody and like taunt him. Like, I mean,
they don't have to call it. They can let it go.
Yeah, and like until they get the letter in the NFL saying, "Why didn't you call this flag? Here's a $10 fine." But
I didn't see it.
But yeah, as far as like pointing the skies over that, don't we see NBA players like Steph Curry makes one? He's like, like he does that like every time.
Or he runs down the court doing the sleep. I mean, yeah, come on, man,
come on. Drew is in the chat. Play. Members over here at youtube.com/manhour. He said, don't put the entire blame on Flowers. Lamar couldn't get on point, and their players dropped many passes. The team lost the game. Well, that sounds like a Baltimore Ravens fan if I ever heard one. It is everybody's fault but Lamar. But when the Ravens win, it's all Lamar, right? That's the Baltimore Ravens MO right there. Let's say Patrick Mahomes lost that game, Hoffy. MVS drops a pass. Travis Kelce drops a game-winning touchdown, whatever. Who is the blame going to be on? Patrick Mahomes, because he's the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. He's the best player in the world, whatever, the GOAT, whatever you want to say it. The point of the matter is, it doesn't matter if it's the defense's fault, the wide receiver's fault, bad coaching. The quarterback is a focal point of the team, Hoffy, period. Lamar Jackson's making 40% of the Baltimore Ravens salary cap this season and next season. It's his fault they lost. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. He should have got on Zay Flowers. Like, no, it's your fault, man. John says, and then turn when Josh Allen does the blindsided hits parade starts. What? And in turn, when Josh Allen does the blindside, the hit parade starts. I'm confused. John Switcher's in the chat. What's up, John? And he says, you know how you avoid referee making good or bad calls, bad taunting calls? Don't taunt. Give the referee the ball and get back into the huddle. I would agree with that. I mean, Barry Sanders made a very, very lucrative career by getting into the end zone, acting like he's been there, done that before, and hand the referee the ball. I get it. But, Hoffy, every time Patrick Queen, Chris Jones, Justin Reed, Rocky Sin makes a sack, makes a big tackle, what do? They run 20 yards up the field saying, I did that, right? How about this? Every time the defense gets a turnover, interception, fumble, stops on fourth down.
Run 100 yards down the damn field.
Yeah. What is that? You want to talk about taunting? That is taunting. You are literally...
The whole damn team's allowed to celebrate now, where it used to just be the one person. Yep.
Yeah, that is taunting. But, John, I do get what you're saying. Just give the referee the ball, whatever. But emotions are high, baby. Emotion in sports is very, very contagious, right? I mean, we had a player on our team, was a running back. Very hard-nosed kid, would lower his head, get 3 yards in a cloud of dust, play after play after play. He would jump up, give the referee the ball, right? We happened to be in a state championship game, and he is running the hell out of the ball. He's getting like 7 yards a pop. It was like the third quarter. We're down by like 10, and this guy jumps up and says, yeah, you like that, mofo? And he is up in people's face, and we're like, whoa. We got goosebumps. Our hair stood up on our neck. Like, what just happened? Like, that lit a fire under everybody. So it is, like, emotion is a very, very real thing. Jim says, why do they not null the lost yards on sacks? Or why do they null... So basically what John is asking is, when a quarterback is sacked, before it used to take away on their rushing yards, right? So if you get sacked, you get like negative 10 yards rushing, negative five yards rushing. Now it doesn't matter, right? Jim, I want to say, because it's a stat-driven league, we want to see Lamar Jackson rush for 130 yards. We want to see Josh Allen get 150 yards, 300 yards passing. It's sexy, right? Having a quarterback throw for 300 yards and negative 12 yards rushing because he got sacked is not sexy. Hoffy, why do you think they took away the lost yardage on his sack?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have an answer for that, but I do agree. If you drop back to pass the ball and you're sacked, I think it should come off of your passing yards. I think it does come off of the total offensive yards. But yeah, I do think that it should be a hit more so on the passing yards, but if not that, at least on the rushing yards. But I think it should be, should fall on the passing yards. You're dropping back to pass, and you lose those yards. I mean, that a coverage sack or something like that, then why doesn't that, it's a stat-driven league. Why don't we, benefit the defensive, side of the ball in that
offensive stat-driven league? Defense doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
John says they are Karens everywhere. Hit rewind and watch some 70s, 80s taunting. Listen, I don't think any one of us could survive the 1970s, 1980s NFL. I was watching highlights of who was the famous New York Giants linebacker. Was it LT, right? Lawrence Taylor. He would come armed with this big old forearm and club quarterbacks in the back of the head. Like, there is no way nobody could survive that right now. We are all soft generation. Let's just be honest. I mean,
My favorite.
Go ahead.
My favorite still to this day is the Randy Moss mooning the Green Bay Packers.
Right. Yeah. Didn't he get fined for that?
Or the cell phone celebration. Was it T.O. with the cell phone celebration?
I think so.
Pulling it out of the field goal thing.
That was the highlight of the taunting era of the NFL, right? Pull the mark out of the sock, sign the ball.
Oh, yeah, the marker out of the sock.
Get
That
the
was a good one.
popcorn. Yeah. It is.
See, bring back the good old days.
Yeah, take us back, right? If people want to taunt, says John, in the game, then get rid of a penalty altogether. You can't have anything behind termed unacceptable then. There will be no limit to what they can do. Just imagine where that leads. I still think you have to have a taunting penalty in the rule book, John. Just because, just because we let them play in the gray area a little bit, if there is a consistent taunting, flexing of the face, like, hey, you like that? It is going to ultimately lead to fights, right? Because men egos are a very, very strong thing, especially in the NFL. When you're getting physically dominated play after play after play, and then a player comes up and taunts you play after play after play, pushes that button, we are going to cause a fight. I see it in semi-pro and arena football all the time, right? The male ego gets shattered and there's fights all the time. The reason why we don't see fights in the NFL is because the camera quickly zooms off to Tony Romo. Oh, there's something happening on the field. Hey, how about those Cowboys? so it is very sheltered, right? But we definitely see a hell of a lot more. Drew says, I freaking hate the Ravens. If you hate the Ravens so much, stop being a Ravens fan and blame everybody else but Lamar Jackson, Drew. Jim says, so do they call a delay of game on the defense silly? No, because it is a turnover or a interception, so the offense has the ball, so they're usually going to a commercial break anyways when the defense runs a field. But
I think he's referring to
the sack.
The sack, yeah.
No, they don't call a delay game because you still have 40 seconds. Like, once the whistle blows, the 40-second clock starts. So you have 40 seconds to get back. It is what it is. Lawrence Taylor
I
was
don't think the
wired
clock
for
starts
sound.
till the refs, down the ball, correct?
Nope. Once the whistle blows and the play is over, the 40-second clock starts.
Okay.
Now, the referees try to hustle and get the ball placed as fast as they can, but usually that's take the Cowboys game, for example, for the 49ers a couple years ago, right? The referees were like, what do we do? And they were kind of milking the clock like a little bit. But yeah, like,
That's part of the script.
yeah, it was probably right. Lawrence Taylor was a very wired for sound person. He was very wiry, as the guy from the replay placement says, the old kickers.
Like
James says
Chamberlain
LT was
out of his mind.
out of his mind all the time. LT was on something, right?
Or Jim Powell.
What did Jim say?
He drank a milkshake every day full of penicillin to ward off STD.
Hey,
You gotta do what you gotta
funny.
do. I mean,
It is funny that James says that LT was coked out of his mind, because wasn't the water boy when he was like talking to Adam Sandler, and like the water boy's like, I see the ball, I go get the ball, or like, and he's like, kids, that brings me to my next point. Don't do drugs. John says you have to have a taunting penalty along that will come to subject with penalties. You can't avoid ref judgment call on taunting allowed. Get rid of the tackle hump. The tackle hump was my go-to in college. I would tackle, I would slide these nuts across your face and let you know that I made that tackle. I'm him, baby. I'm him. Speaking of him, Jerry Jones is in the news, and the Dallas Cowboys are in the news. Imagine that, because they are America's team. Right there, got the Dallas Cowboys poster right there. Nice little American flag behind it with the stars saying America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. But Jerry Jones says the Cowboys are, quote, all in for 2024. Mike McCarthy is on the last year of his contract as a head coach in the regular season for the Dallas Cowboys. He is 42-25 as a regular season. Very good regular season stats. And he has 3 12-win seasons in a row. With that being said, Dak is on the final year of his contract. Tyron Smith, Stephon Gilmore, and Tony Pollard are all free agents. And CeeDee Lamb is probably going to be looking for that bag as well. So, Hoffy, when you hear Jerry Jones say that we are all in for 2024, what do you think Jerry Jones is trying to say?
I mean, isn't every team usually all in every year? I don't think he's saying anything that we haven't heard from every other owner. I mean, even like the Commanders who were in, or the Cleveland Browns when they knew they were going to go 0-17, they were all in it. But there's in order for them to be successful, they've got some work to do. I mean, Dak Prescott's got a $59 million salary hit this year. They're going to have to probably, work that to try and, free up some cap space. But, they're going to have, to make some changes here to, free up some money and stuff. They're going to, I don't know how they're going to be able to put that same team on the field. Like you said, CeeDee Lamb's going to want the bag. You got Stephon Gilmore. I believe he is up for, as a free agent this year. He played real well, especially once he had to step up and take over for, Diggs once he was injured. But, they've got needs at the linebacker position. I think they need I think Pollard's a free agent, but they definitely need some sort of running back, whether it's a 1-2 punch like what they had with him and Zeke. They're going to need to get a left tackle. I mean, they've got some holes to fill to make sure that team is capable of getting back to where they want to be. But I still think they should have fired McCarthy and hired Belichick.
Still, time will tell. Time will tell. But Bill Belichick is still a free agent.
I know him and Jones would, that just would not go well together. But I'd love for put them on Hard Knocks and let's what's
going to happen, right? This is what's going to happen. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. Andy Reid is going to retire, finish on top, right off into the sunset, and then Bill Belichick's going to come to Kansas City and win another 3-4 championships with Patrick Mahomes.
All right, hold on. I think we can kind of discuss, Belichick's resume has taken a hit the past couple of years without Brady, but we can say that those two are, 1A and 1B. If you put them in a room and you wanted to argue, do you really think Andy Reid is going to say, hey, this is what I built and allow that, Belichick to kind of come in and start picking from his garden and,
100%.
Like, make a sandwich in his, or do you think Belichick's going to want to come in? I mean, if Belichick comes in there and wins another Super Bowl or two, it's, this is what Andy Reid built. I mean, he's not going to get the credit for it. And I don't know. I think even Andy Reid would be like, no, this motherfucker's not going to come in and, take the fruits of my labor. So I don't see that happening.
I would love to see the debate, Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady, since Patrick Mahomes had like arguably two of the best coaches ever in his career, and Tom Brady had Bill Belichick, and who was the
Arians and Bowles.
Yeah, it's like whatever, right?
He won another with Arians, and then he had Bowles for his last season or whatnot.
So back to the Cowboys here. John says they need to bring in Josh Jacobs and Odell Beckham Jr. James says CeeDee Lamb will demand the biggest wide receiver bag in the league. And he also says bring in River Ron as a defensive coordinator. Well, Dan Campbell's still there as of right now. But with that being said, guys, When Jerry Jones says that they are all in for the 2024 season, it means one thing and one thing only. It means that the Dallas Cowboys are Super Bowl bound, baby. Let's go.
Oh, Jesus
because the simple
Christ.
fact is that Mike McCarthy knows he's on the last year of his deal. His ass is on the line. Dak Prescott, last year of his deal. His ass is on the line, right? Tony Pollard had a down year, whatever. They're probably going to franchise tag him again, make him prove it to me one more time. They can bring in as Josh Jacobs, and then they're going to re-sign Brandon Cooks because you said it yourself, Hoffy. Brandon Cooks is the X factor for the Dallas Cowboys team, and it has shown in many, many games. If Brandon Cooks wasn't in there, that the Dallas Cowboys wouldn't have finished 12-5. They wouldn't have made it a second seed in the NFC. They wouldn't have won the East. Brandon Cooks is definitely a very big X factor. But when Jerry Jones says that they're all in for 2024, this means that it's Super Bowl or bust. There is no more 12-win season. There is no more just making it to the playoffs. There is no more just, hey, we're good enough to make it. The Dallas Cowboys are all in on this season because if they do not make the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game in 2024 or 2025, like it will be, the simple fact of the matter is Mike McCarthy's gone, Dak is gone, hell, CeeDee Lamb might be gone, definitely Stephon Gilmore's gone. I mean, get that crap out of here, right? Tony Pollard, you're gone. Everybody's gone. They are cleaning freaking house because Bill Belichick is not going to get signed as a coach this season. He's going to take a year off. Jerry Jones is going to wine and dine Bill Belichick all season long like, hey, this could be your team next year. This could be your team next year. What would you do to fix this team? And if that happens, Bill Belichick will be going to Dallas. They will be winning multiple Super Bowls over and over and over and over again. 96 Dallas Cowboys again, right? Or no, sorry, 92, 93, 95, right? Listen, it is do or die for the Dallas Cowboys.
$11 million over the. You're $11 million over the salary cap.
Money is
right
fake
now.
in the NFL.
You got
Hoffman.
Tyron
Everybody knows
Smith.
that.
He's a free agent.
Everybody's fake.
Jesus! You got Tyron Smith. He's a free agent. You don't have a running back because Tony Pollard's a free agent, and I don't think he's the answer anyways. But Stephon Gilmore, like I said, Armstrong, Curse, Lewis, Fowler Jr., Noah. God, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his freaking name. The cornerback there. Your defensive tackle and Hankins, Sieg. I mean, it's gonna be tough to to fill some of those holes. Like I said, they're gonna need a running back. They're gonna need a left tackle. They're gonna need some linebacking help. It's gonna be tough. Dak is going to have to take a huge pay cut, and I don't think Dak is going to want to do that, especially with, the hate that he's taking. Even his brother wants him out of there.
It is simple. This is how you fix it. Send Dak Prescott to L.A. Send him to L.A. L.A. Rams love their use and abuse quarterbacks, a.k.a. Matthew Stafford.
No.
Take him to L.A. Matthew Stafford to the Dallas Cowboys. Bring Stafford back home to Dallas, baby. Make it happen. You don't think Matthew Stafford on the Dallas Cowboys are a Super Bowl caliber team right now? You're out of your freaking mind, baby.
I don't think the Rams want anything to do with Dak.
They didn't want anything to do with Matthew Stafford either. They're just like, get Jared Goff out of here. We
what are
don't
you
care.
talking about? They signed him. They won a Super Bowl. They almost freaking. They were supposed to be irrelevant this year, and look what he did with them this year. He's absolutely going to be back under center for those Rams.
I'm just saying. Dak Prescott in L.A. would be a match made in heaven, I think.
How about this?
Okay.
One of my female friends from high school, she works for the Los Angeles Rams.
Is she a massage?
She is like, huh?
Is she a massage therapist?
No, she's like one of their, I don't know, like the Mike. She's part of their.
She works for them.
Fucking commentary. Yeah, she's.
I'm kidding. She,
commentary person or whatever. Like she's got a pretty cool role. I mean, I'd kill for her role. We'll bring her on and we'll see what she has to say, what she thinks. Yeah. I guarantee you,
she would be all about bringing some Dak Prescott in there. Stafford out.
Absolutely not.
Listen, who was the Rams head coach? Sean McVay.
Sean McVay.
He is tired of seeing women flock over Matthew Stafford because he's so gorgeous. He has a beautiful wife and beautiful kids. Whatever. Get Dak's ass in here. Let's go. What? Well, what are you laughing at? Drew's comment. Drew says, "See, Buck is drinking."
She's a broadcast host. That is her
broadcast host
title.
So that's like the color
and
commentary,
talent
right?
content creator. Yeah.
Did she go to school for that, or like did you just fall into the right situation?
I believe so. Her parents also own a share of the Boston Red Sox, so I'm pretty sure.
Right. She has a little bit of in, right? But obviously, you still got to be talented to,
We'll say it that way,
right? John says, "Jesus, Buck, you're
she's super talented, super funny."
I'm not reaching for nothing, baby. I just look. I can read between the lines, John. I can read between the lines here, and I'm reading between the lines that Matthew Stafford. This is his farewell tour in L.A. Dak Prescott has a big contract hit this season. Jerry Jones says they're all in for 2024. What does that mean? Get Dak Prescott out of town.
Justin Fields, baby.
Bring in Justin Fields, Stafford. Hell, you can rattle the cage and bring in Brett Favre. I hear he is needing some money since he's suing Pat again. So
Aaron Rodgers.
I wouldn't bring Aaron Rodgers in.
Tom Brady out of retirement.
True. James says Bill Belichick is washed up. It's over for him. Let me ask you this. What makes a coach, quote, washed up? Is it because you don't want to change your old school ways? Or do you live on the past so much you're like, oh, we did it this way in 2002. It's going to work in 2024. Like, Hoffy, you're a coach and I'm a coach. In your eyes, when James says Bill Belichick is washed up, what do you think what makes a coach washed up?
Just look at the talent he had to work with in New England after Tom Brady left. And even when Tom Brady was there in that last year, they didn't have any talent. But Tom Brady and Belichick covered up those deficiencies in that team. But, I mean, Wayne G has said it. You put him on Atlanta Falcons and allow him to go out and get a coach, and I mean, they're right there. You put him on this Dallas Cowboys staff and get rid of McCarthy, I think they're a better team. I don't think that putting Belichick on the Washington Commanders and saying, here you go, here is an absolute dumpster fire of a team, rebuild it and be successful. I don't think he's capable of doing that right now. I think, at his age, it would take take several years for him to rebuild an entire organization and implement that that new Patriot way structure or whatnot. But you put him on a Kansas City Chiefs team, they're not taking. I don't know that you can take a step forward with what you have, but you're certainly not taking a step back. I mean, you put him on Buffalo Bills, they're a better team with him as a coach than Sean McDermott. I mean, there's plenty of teams that have been in the playoffs. Heck, you put him on San Francisco 49ers and you keep Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator, they're an even better team. So I don't think he's washed up. I just think that his days of being able to build a whole new team is, he's not a GM, but you give him a quarterback and give him a decent team, he's absolutely capable of still, duplicating his success.
Yeah, and James, this is kind of where I want to go with with that question is Bill Belichick is stuck in his ways and he can't relate to the players, and that is the one thing that I strive as a head coach for. Like me is like I like to have conversations with my guys. Whether we're shooting the shit, helping them with life, talking about school, whatever. I have a connection with my kids over and over and over again. For example, I had a kid that would always wear long sleeve shirts. His name was Jack. He used to sweat profusely. I'm talking this kid could drink a gallon of water a day, and by the end of practice, he is still cramping up. But he always wore long sleeves and wore tights underneath his pants too. And one of my defensive coordinators came up to me. He's like, Like, if Jack's always cramping, he sweats like this, why is he dressed like this? I'm like, clearly you don't know Jack. Jack is allergic to grass. When he falls and he gets grass on his skin and it cuts him, he breaks out into massive highs and he has to get an EpiPen shot. So, like, when my defensive coordinator did not know that about one of his star defensive linemen, it was time for him to walk away. Why don't you have a conversation with your players? Why don't you talk to him? Why don't you just shoot the shit after practice one day? Just sit in your chair and just let the kid talk, right? And just like, hey, like, why do you wear long sleeve shirts? And he would tell you, Bill Belichick clearly does not have the relationship with like, you know, his kids or players or whatever, right? You saw it when was it Bailey Zappi that led the game-winning drive in the Patriots this year, Hoffy, and they were celebrating with Bill O'Brien and shit like that. When like, and then as soon as Bill Belichick was like, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, like it was strictly business, right? There was no like, hey man, it's like, let your hair down, right? I think that has been the biggest downfall of Bill Belichick since Tom Brady has left, is he just hasn't let his hair down. Let the hair down, interact, do that, and you won't be, quote, washed up. People will want to play for you. People will want to kill for you, right? That's what it comes down to. John says Jesus would have trouble coaching in Dallas because Jerry is a Brile cream and a little dab of what do you do? I don't know what Brile cream is. You know what
he corrected himself in the last comment.
He is creatine and a little dab would do you. Do you know what creatine is, John?
I think Jerry Jones would. I think it'd be fun to get him smoking some, doing some dabs. Get him stoned.
Jerry Jones has taken a step back. Stephen Jones is the GM now, and Stephen Jones has been drafting really well, and the Cowboys have been doing really good. Just they're lacking coaching. But that's what it is.
Until we get to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're lacking that coaching, or you like to call killer instinct. They don't have it. They don't have it. But Hoffy, that's going to be it for today, man. Day went a lot smoother. Got the computer working. I brought the energy. You brought the co-host energy. Have you ever noticed that we are kind of always on point with like hoodies? Yesterday we both wore our NFL expert shirt, and today we're both wearing our man hour hoodies.
Yeah, and we do not plan our outfit attire, unlike some people.
Yeah.
Who are you wearing tomorrow, Buck?
Put some names on it, Hoffy.
Put some names on what?
Jeez, it was a commercial before you guys were born.
These nuts.
Send us out, big guy. Send us out, big guy. Send us out, big guy.
I said, man, our nation. Right.